Greetings, all. I thought it would be important for us to talk a little bit about time management and what that means when taking a college course. So, the first question is, how do you use your time? At what time of day are you most productive? You need to think that through. You need to think about if you're more productive in the morning, are you more productive in the afternoon or evening? Obviously, you don't want to stay up all night and not get any sleep, but it is super important for you to figure those things out. It's also important to ask yourself, how do you manage your time? So, how do you know what you need to get done? How do you keep track of everything? For me, I like to make lists. I like to cross things off when they're completed. I like to add to that list. I usually try to make a big list for the entire semester in the beginning, and then I make smaller lists from there. What needs to be done by the end of the week, what needs to be done by the end of the day, etc., etc. You can also color code things. Again, you need to figure out what is best for you when you're trying to manage your time because you're going to have multiple things to do at once. And what's your schedule? Like I said, the beginning of the semester, I look at the syllabus and I try to figure out what's due when, how long I have to get things completed, when things have to be handed in for a draft or the final project, and then I make my list in my calendar. I do use my calendar on my computer, which I have learned how to do that and make it productive for me. But I will tell you that when I was in college, it was really much better for me to use a paper pencil calendar um, because I was able to then see everything laid out and see it all in one big list, if you will. So you've got to figure out if a day planner is good for you or if you can do things on your computer. I do know that there are apps available out there that you can put in when things are required, when the readings are due, etc. Um, and for some people, those are really helpful and super useful as well. So, plan your semester. You get the syllabus, go to the very end, see when the final assignments are due, when your final exams are, um, and make a list working backwards. Find out when your projects are due, when a draft is due, when an outline is due. Put those all in your calendar. Once you have that in, then you can say, okay, if I have a test on the 15th, I should probably start studying on the 5th. Give yourself a good 10 days to start reviewing. And then maybe 2 or 3 days before, really, dive into things and really start to study. Again, you're going to figure out what's best for you. A lot of it is trial and error. Make the time count. How are you going to use the notes from your class? Um, where are you going to study best? This is something that, as I said before, trial and error, it is important to figure that out. The first time you try to study somewhere and you find that it doesn't work for you, that's okay. Now you know you can take that off the table and go somewhere else. So think about where you study. Are you better in the library? Do you study in your bedroom, on the bed, on the floor? How about your kitchen table or even a coffee shop? Do you study better with friends? You have to figure this out. It's also really important to make sure that you're minimizing the distractions. If you're good studying on the couch, make sure you're not watching TV. Or if you're studying in your bedroom, make sure that there are things that are not around that are going to distract you and you want to go do something else. You need to figure out how to minimize distractions for yourself. Also, set achievable goals and don't forget to take breaks. So if you get 15 pages read, take a break. I also tell people, if you can sit for 45 minutes, that's a phenomenal amount of time. And for the next 15 minutes, go run around the block or go have a snack or go play with your dog or whatever the case might be. And then go back and do it again. This way you're setting goals and you know when your time is complete. This is just a simple priority matrix. You can see how, again, for a time management, what's the task, how important is it, um, and so forth. So again, you can see that whatever the action is, do first, do later, do next, or don't do it all. Again, what's high priority or importance, and high urgency and low urgency. The book talks a little bit about SQ3R, and I just want to talk for a second about what this means. This is an old technique where survey, question, read, review, and retrieve and review, um, are the five major things for when you're looking at new material, new notes, etc. So you're going to survey the information. You're going to find out what the key parts of the module are. You might see how long they are. You're going to then ask some questions, jot them down for yourself to reference back or in the margins of your book. And as you're reading, you're going to go back and answer your own questions. Keep in mind that you're searching for those answers maybe, or maybe the text itself has asked questions, and so as you're reading, you're going to try to answer those as well. Retrieving things. Obviously, once you have the answer, try to recite it and say it in ways that you're going to understand it. Obviously, what's written in the book is supposed to be simple and understanding, but I also try to encourage people to say things in a way that makes sense to them. So rephrase it. And then finally, you're going to review things. You're going to review the information that you read and learned. You're going to try to figure out ways to remember this information, and so forth. Fortunately, taking an online class, it is pretty common knowledge that if you do have a quiz or a test, it's oftentimes considered open note, open book. Again, all of the PowerPoints are going to be on Canvas. You're going to be able to reference your book. So you are going to have it a little bit easier in that sense than sitting in a classroom and trying to take a test. But again, this is just some ideas, and the SQ3R are things that you can use for all of your classes. Remember, nothing is set in stone when it comes to time management, how you study, and how you're using your day. You can always revise your schedule. Again, don't forget to reward yourself, and don't forget to take breaks. You don't want to overpower your mind and then become so overwhelmed that you don't even know where to start. I used to say to people that I've studied so much, my brain hurts. Of course, I don't know what my brain feels like, but I just want to make sure that I don't get to a point where I don't know what to do next. So, again, if something's not working, figure that out the sooner rather than later and go to a different spot. Try different ways of taking notes, and you'll figure it out. And it's, again, a trial and error, and something that once you get that figured out, you're going to feel so accomplished and so excited. And obviously, don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait to get something done when you already have your schedule in front of you. There's no excuse for things to be late, especially if you're given all assignments at the very beginning of the semester. Again, I think this is going to be a great semester, and I'm super excited to work with you guys. And good luck.